Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the Big Picture 6th grade ceremony. My name is Matt Stokes, and I'm the assistant principal of the Big Picture School. We are so excited to welcome you this fall. Before I introduce our principal, Bethany Spindler, I do want to provide an overview of our time together this afternoon. We'll hear from Bethany, and then I'll answer some frequently asked questions that were provided to us in a previously completed survey. And then we'll hear from our 6th grade advisory team with some information about 6th grade and the middle school experience at large. And then we'll hear from some of our middle school teachers. Following those pre-recorded videos, we'll transition into a live Q&A session submitted during this presentation. So we encourage you throughout the presentation today to submit questions in the Q&A space available to the right of the presentation screen. We'll do our very best to answer these live after we hear from our teachers. Following the Q&A session between Bethany and myself, we'll close with a message from our guidance counselor, Jamie Ginter. Thank you very much. And now we're going to hear from Bethany Spindler, founder and principal of the Big Picture School.
Hi, everyone. So exciting to be welcoming you to Big Picture this spring. I know that I saw many of you on campus in January when you were attending one of our information sessions, or if you made it in for a shadow day prior to school closure. The spring has been a wild, crazy ride. We're hoping fall is a little less crazy and a little more predictable, though things are still getting decided as to what fall and reentry into school will look like come September. But in the meantime, I look forward to sharing messages from our advisors today and our guidance counselor and answering as many questions as we possibly can. We will be running, hopefully an in-person, but maybe it'll be virtual orientation in late August. Dates and information about that will be coming out in our summer mailing, which will go out the end of June, early July. That'll give you as much information as we know at that time around what school will be in the fall. What's super special about your entering 6th grade class? It's year 10. This is a decade of having Big Picture here in Bellevue. So we hope to spend a lot of time throughout next year celebrating 10 years of bringing Big Picture learning into the Bellevue School District and all the progress that we've made in developing our awesome school. Core features that you're going to hear about today that are really cornerstones to Big Picture are how we form student and parent partnerships through our advisory model. It's something that we're really proud of and we feel supports that transition into middle school real easily. The second part of our school that is super unique is our focus on project-based learning and connecting you to real-world relevant learning opportunities through a variety of projects in your classes and in advisory. It makes learning more enjoyable and engaging and deep and lasting. And third, a cornerstone of Big Picture is developing student agency and leadership. We're going to work with you throughout your entire 7 years here with us on campus or virtually to really grow in your self-advocacy, your leadership skills, the ability to empower others around you and make change in your community, locally and globally. So those are really the big three of what Big Picture is about. And we can't wait to get started with you in the fall. So sit back and relax and enjoy a great presentation from our advisors and our staff here today, and submit those questions and we'll answer as many of them as we can. Thank you all for coming today. And I think we're going back over to Matt.
Thank you, Bethany. I have the opportunity to take a few minutes to answer some frequently asked questions that were provided in an earlier survey. Thank you for those of you who took the time to complete that. One of the most Popular questions submitted is what electives will be offered next year? And will that change if we're working from home still? So our 6th grade electives are art and PE, and this should not be impacted if we're remote in the fall. But we can't say for sure without knowing what the schedule will be agreed upon by the district and the teachers union. Question number 2, how will students know their schedule? So schedules will be provided during an August orientation. It's a day for you to meet your advisors, teachers and administrators, and get a sense of what campus looks like and feels like in person. If you're placed in the wrong class, a change can be made. Most 6th grade students will have these classes: English Language Arts, Social Studies, Math, Science, Art, PE, and Advisory. Those with IEPs may have a different class instead of the electives to meet their IEP goals. Another question, what clubs are available? So clubs do change year to year with student interests. But to give you an example, over the last few years, Big Picture has hosted Game Club, Esports, Drama, Green Team, Yearbook, Makerspace, Soccer Club, SOAR, Students Organized Against Racism, and Math Club. Each year, Jubilee offers activities based on the capacity of the staff worker and interest of students. In the past, we've offered flag football, soccer, cooking, and guitar. Students can enroll in clubs anytime throughout the year. And to form a new club, that can too happen throughout the year. All you need is the support of a teacher who elects to become your club advisor. Another question submitted is what are some tools and technologies the students will be using? So Big Picture's been a one-to-one laptop school for 8 years. So you'll navigate the suite of Microsoft Office products: OneNote, Teams, Outlook, Flipgrid, Nearpod, Pear Deck, Alex for math. Coding is offered later in middle school, and our Makerspace has a range of technologies that are used in clubs and projects. Another really important question, how does Big Picture support diversity? So Big Picture values diversity through student and staff Students Organized Against Racism group. We also have weekly assemblies where students discuss and present student interests and projects. Advisory projects where students select and choose based on their interests. We also discuss diversity and anti-racism strategies when it's connected to the curriculum. So similar to our broader social landscape, this work is in development and improving each year. But we're determined and spoken directly with our staff about being an anti-racist school. Another question is about bullying and drugs. So student social behavior, health, and safety are regularly discussed, reviewed, and addressed in the classroom, and is needed with one-on-one conversation with students, administrators, teachers, and counselors. We strive to have an environment where all students are healthy and feel safe. However, part of growing up might be making mistakes. And when students do make mistakes, we work with them to identify the harm they may have caused, and we work to repair it. We encourage families to communicate with us if their student has been impacted by bullying or drugs, and we engage with them in ways to support and offer prevention strategies. So back to the classroom. A few questions came in about differentiation. So our curriculum of project-based learning offers differentiation in many ways as students collaborate with their peers, bringing their strengths to each project while developing communication, leadership, and task management. Projects allow multiple access points for students with ample choice. Many projects allow students to show their learning in a variety of ways: videos, PowerPoints, presentations, 3D models, sometimes even live in public audiences. Now, teachers will provide scaffolds and tools to support students, including graphic organizers for writing, immersive reader to support students reading across texts, lit circles with choice books based on interests and reading level. And that leads us to our last question, is how is academic excellence ensured and measured? And how are parents kept up to date with the progress students are making? So Big Picture's curriculum is driven by national standards, and classes graded under a standards-based grading protocol. These national standards help to guide the scope and sequence of the curriculum, and parents are kept to date about the progress by way of ParentView, providing access to information about grades and standards. There's a OneNote parent view option to track students' progress through classrooms, assignments, and projects. Parents are also invited to attend student-led conferences 3 to 4 times a year, where students present to the teacher and their adult what they have learned, what their strengths, their areas of growth, and overall academic goals. My parents are also invited throughout the year to classrooms for our exhibitions, and showcases, and project presentations to engage with students on their finished products. Again, we'll continue to answer questions that are provided in the Q&A, but at this time, we are now going to hear from our 6th grade advisory team, Laura Walter, Michelle Turner-Stanifer, and Erica Iris.
Hi, 6th graders. I'm Laura Walter. This is Jackson. He's my 3.5-month old. We're in his nursery right now, so bear with me. So I'm going to be talking to you about advisory. I am one of 3 advisors for the 6th grade. So there's me, there's Erica Iris, and there's Michelle Turner. So what is an advisor? An advisor is kind of like the parent at Big Picture while you're at school, if you will. So our role is to support you. To help you with a lot of different skills like organization. We help you with your grades and making sure that you're getting everything that you need. We're also kind of the communication in between home and the school. So you'll actually do your student-led conferences through your advisory or with your advisor. Your advisor is also going to be your teacher for advisory class during 7th period. What is advisory class? So advisory class has a lot of different roles. The first one being kind of a support group. So your advisory is kind of seen like a family. You come up with a group name, you come up with a mascot, and the group travels together from 6th all the way to 8th grade. So you get to know each other really well. The first few weeks, usually we just kind of help with the transition into 6th grade. We learn all the different technology, how to use your computers, how to use them correctly and safely, how to use OneNote, OneDrive, Teams, all of those different programs that you're going to be using on a regular basis at Big Picture. In addition to doing technology, we also do projects. So we'll start out after technology with the Who Am I project, where you get to dive in deep and really figure out who you are, your past history, your culture, and really get to know your different learning styles. It's a pretty cool project. After that, we go more into looking into the future with our college and career project. So you think about and brainstorm different careers you're interested in, narrow it down to one, and think of what steps you have to take in order to get to that career. We end the year usually with a community service project. So that project is looking at ways that you can help out your community locally. In addition to all the projects and organizations that we do within advisory, we also do grade checks. Grade checks usually happen on Friday, and it's a great time to brainstorm and create different goals for either maintaining or increasing those grades. So advisory is really going to be that supportive family that you're going to really get really close with throughout the year. Here's an example of my awesome advisory's mascot from last year. Hope you enjoy. Pretty cool, huh? We actually did the wave during the PMUs, which was pretty awesome. Well, I'm really excited to meet you, and I can't wait till the fall. Bye. Hi, 6th graders. It's Laura Walter again, science teacher and 6th grade advisor. For this clip, I'm going to be talking about that transition in the first few days that you're going to be in 6th grade. It's totally natural to feel a little nervous for your first few days at school, but there's so much amazing supportive people in our building that we're going to make your transition as smooth as possible. So here's some really important names to be on the lookout for. So first of all, for any real big questions, most of that can be answered probably by your advisor. And if your advisor doesn't know the answer, they definitely know somebody who will know the answer, and they can bring you together, or they can find the answer for you and get back to you. So look for myself, Erica, or Michelle for those big questions in the beginning and the first couple days. For any tech questions, Bren is going to be your man. Anything with hardware, if your computer isn't working, or you have some broken keys or anything like that, Bren is going to be the person to talk to. He's amazing. Our research specialist is really going to help you out as you go through the project-based learning process. So that's Leslie. Leslie's amazing, and she's really flexible with timing. So be on the lookout for her. Counselors, anything to do with scheduling, that's going to be Jamie and Melinda. So they're going to be your counseling gurus. They're going to help you if you're having a bad day. They're just there to talk to as well. So they're going to be helping with both figuring out your classes, schedules, and being there for you emotionally as well. If you have any medications that need to go to the office, or if you're not feeling very well, we have the amazing nurse Erin. That's going to be located in the main office. Also in the main office is our amazing registrar who can help you with enrollment. So that's going to be Carol Ann. Anything attendance-wise, if you're late to school, anything like that. The first couple days we're really lenient about that. But thereafter, if you're tardy, then you're going to talk to Christina in the main office. And then, of course, we have our amazing assistant principal, Matt, and then our amazing principal, Bethany. So you have these amazing people in the office that are going to be able to help you. And last but not least, you also have the school mom, Karen. She is amazing, sweetest lady ever, and she'll be able to help you if you don't know where to go, or don't know what to do next, or which is your next class, or if you need just somebody to talk to. Karen is our in-house mom. But again, your advisors are going to be that major resource that's going to answer most of your questions. So hopefully that is helpful. And again, I'm very excited to see you all in the fall. Bye.
Hey, hey, Michelle Turner-Stanifer. Welcome to Big Picture. So excited to meet you come this fall. I am the 6th grade language arts teacher at Big Picture. I'm also an advisor with Erica Iris and Laura Walter. We make a super duper team. So at Big Picture, we have a 7-period schedule. Now, this 7-period schedule is generally 45 to 50 minutes on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Tuesday is a little bit shorter, and if you want to know why it's a little bit shorter, you will have to check out the segment made by Erica Iris called PMU. But I'm going to talk about the 7-period schedule. So in that 7-period schedule, you will have language arts, science, social studies, math, PE, and electives. You'll also have a lunch time, which is not part of the periods. But with that 7-period schedule, what you get to do is you get to go from classroom to classroom. And since we have an open campus, when you go from classroom to classroom, you get to walk all through the hallways. Now, I know about how exciting that is because I too was once a 6th grader. Look at that little one. That's 6th grade Shelley Turner. And she would be so excited to go into the hallways and walk through the hallways and go to a different room where you get to do that all day. But your hallways, the cool thing is it's all outdoors. So you get to have some fresh air, a little bit of sun, listen to the birds, a little bit of traffic too. But it's cool. And yeah, you'll travel from class to class. And the cool thing about that too is that some of your classes, you won't have the same students all of the time. You get to have a different combination of students to work with. So it's pretty cool. So we're super excited to meet you. and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your summer. Bye. Hey, hey, Michelle Turner-Stanifer, 7th grade language arts teacher at Big Picture, also an advisor with the fabulous team of Laura Walter and Erica Iris. So, if you didn't check out my video on the 7-period classes, you need to check that out before you watch this one. Because in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the block schedule. Block days are on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So if you are from a Bellevue School District elementary school, you may recall that on Wednesdays we have shorter days. Same will happen here at Big Picture. You'll get out a little bit earlier. On Thursday, we have full days. And on those 2 days, we have our block schedule. Now, in my previous video, I talked about how our periods are generally 45 to 50 minutes. On Wednesdays and Thursdays, 45 to 50 minutes? What do we do with the rest of the time? Free day? No, you silly goose, not a free day. What we do on Wednesdays and Thursdays is we have longer class periods. So generally about 90 minutes, which for my math geniuses out there is an hour and a half. Now, that sounds like a long time to sit in your seat, but trust me, my friends, you do not sit the entire time. We give you lots of breaks, lots of brain breaks, lots of times to stretch or go outside and get some fresh air, and we actually accomplish more in those 90-minute class periods where we get to work in groups and do experiments and collaborate and shoot videos and different kinds of projects. And I personally, as a teacher, prefer them. I get to enjoy you guys that much more. So with that said, I can't wait to meet you when you arrive here at Big Picture, and I hope you're enjoying the rest of your summer. Bye.
Hello, I'm Erica Iris. I teach art and 6th grade advisory. I'm going to talk to you guys about PMUs. PMUs. They're not PU, PMU. So these stand for Pick Me Up. They are our weekly assemblies for middle school. We meet usually every Tuesday morning for about a half hour in the cafeteria, and we have a big get-together. So usually you sit with your advisory class, and there's usually a theme for the day. We tend to talk about people's birthdays or special events that are coming up on the calendars, try to give recognition to students, and we try to get students to be involved and to lead these. So get ready for that eventually. So you sit with your advisory class. Usually there's some sort of activity, maybe like a competition between advisories. You might have minute to win it games, or we've done telephone trades, which are always really fun. Sometimes there's guest presenters from outside of BP or inside BP, different teachers or students coming to talk to you guys. So games, activities, we like to get students to lead this eventually, and there'll be many opportunities for you to jump in if you have any ideas. Let's see. And the purpose is to come all together, to be a group of middle schoolers to touch base and to just enjoy each other's company and to have fun. It's a nice little break in our Tuesday to do this. So PMUs, enjoy. All right, another acronym, PBL. That stands for project-based learning. That's something you're going to be doing a lot of here at Big Picture. So you remember back in the day, you would take tests and quizzes to show that you were learning the stuff the teacher was teaching, right? Here at Big Picture, instead, you'll be making a lot of projects to show your learning. You'll take tests and quizzes too, but the big new thing for you will be making projects. Be prepared to work collaboratively. A lot of our project work is collaborative based, so you'll be working with a bunch of your peers on a project. Also be prepared to think creatively. You get voice and choice a lot of the time, so you get a grade on creativity, and you get to show what you do best. Let's see, what else? Going through my list, I have a little list here. So you'll get to show your learning and what you've got out of lessons through a project. It lets you showcase your work, and often there's a public product at the end. So your project is the product. It's either shown to the public of Big Picture, so like in school with other peers and other classes, other grade levels get to see your work, or often you present to people who are outside of Big Picture. So sometimes we have guests come in from various companies or organizations to come see what you've done. So that's pretty cool that you get to show off in that way. Yeah, so project-based learning, most of your classes you'll be doing that in alongside of quizzes and tests. This is a big part of Big Picture, is project-based learning.
Hello, sixth graders. Welcome to BP. I am Coach Oliver, your health and PE teacher, hopefully. We get a chance to spend some beautiful days like this outside, getting some fresh air, getting some exercise, and we'll even spend some of those rainy days. We'll spend those together too. So welcome to campus. Looking forward to having you.
Hi, sixth graders. Welcome to Big Picture. My name is Bailey Edgley. I teach 7th grade science, 8th grade science, and next year I'll have a 7th grade advisory. I'm also one of the teachers that runs the weekly PMU. It's like an assembly on Tuesday mornings between first and second period. When we're on campus, Rebecca Davis and I run that assembly. My classroom is right next door to your science classroom. Laura Walter teaches our 6th grade science classes, and my classroom's actually on the way to hers. So I think we'll be waving at each other when you enter science. I'm very excited for you to join us at our school. It's a wonderful place. And next year, your 6th grade year, will be my 8th year at Big Picture. See you soon.
Hi, future Big Picture 6th graders. I'm Brooke. I'm going to be your social studies teacher. Currently, I teach 8th grade social studies. I've taught 7th, and I'm a language arts teacher at Big Picture. So lots of connections to make. I'm really excited to meet you guys. I'm also excited to be back at Big Picture so I can ride my bike there. Kind of obsessed with biking. Road biking mostly, so if you're a biker, we could definitely connect. And also playing music and my dog, but my dog won't get up right now. I'm trying to take him for a walk, but he won't leave. He just wants to play with the stick. Can you say hi, Baloo? Hopefully I can get him up soon, but excited to meet you all. See you soon.
Hi everyone, Miss Charmy here. I teach IMT1 and IMT2 math, and I will be an 8th grade advisor next year. Just want to say welcome to Big Picture and looking forward to meeting you all in the fall.
Thank you to our advisors and our teachers for sharing a little bit about what's next. We do want to take a little bit of time between Bethany and myself to answer some of the questions that were provided that are not published. So we'll start with the questions that were submitted earliest, and we'll work our way through. If we don't get to a particular question, we'll do our best to organize these and follow up with you as a group with answers to the questions that were provided. So thank you, Bethany, and let's start with the first question provided that asks about technical education and how the school prepares students who might be interested in the medical field. As we graduate an incredible class of seniors, this is a great question.
I guess I'm answering the questions right now.
Oh, thank you.
No, that's okay. I was busy typing. You've had such great questions, and it's been fun to try to publish as many of those for everyone to see. So our focus at a Big Picture school is to prepare students to be successful in whatever field or endeavors they choose. We certainly have students who have graduated after 7 years of being here and headed on their way into the medical field. There are students that enter into many liberal arts fields, other math and science fields, other sorts of technical education, IT, etc. So it's a broad range. It's really about students being able to pursue their interests and connect that through different college and career pathways. So we're not funneling students in any one particular direction. It's about deepening critical thinking skills and empowering them to discover what speaks to them and what they want to engage with for post-secondary learning once they do graduate from us. About our next question, Matt.
Yeah, I like this question. It's asking about stress and how stress is handled here and maybe in comparison to other middle schools.
I think if you can speak to that from your PBIS perspective, since you're doing a lot of work in middle school, that would be very helpful.
Absolutely. So we have a PBIS team, which stands for Positive Behavioral Intervention Systems. And our job with that team and the work across the middle school is to help make sure that the culture of the classroom is built on a positive framework, and one that allows students to stay motivated and curious and excited. But we do recognize that with any academic expectation that students might feel like is a homework load too much, or is an upcoming test or project causing stress. And so what we hope the structure of the advisory program and our counseling team is to help students reflect and create what we call metacognitive strategies, to think about their thinking. What is causing stress? What's a potential barrier? And how do we navigate getting through some of the more traditional academic stressors that accompany any new learning experience? I do believe, and I'm very hopeful, that project-based learning allows students to guide their thinking and to make meaning. And we really believe in that philosophy as opposed to one that's driven exclusively by tests. So with all the experience I have in the middle school, I can speak generally that students are incredibly happy, and that anytime stress emerges, we're here to help navigate through that.
Matt, how much are we into extracurricular activities?
Yeah.
You want to talk about Club Jubilee? And
absolutely. So Club Jubilee currently is led by Coach Jacob, and there are a series of activities that Jacob runs. Some of those are athletic related. He's the coach of our flag football team and our soccer team, but he's also led a host of other clubs, a baking club and an art club, trivia club. So Jacob really leads a lot of our extracurricular after school activities. And we also lead a number of, or our advisors lead a number of clubs. There were certainly some questions coming in about esports, the club dedicated to video games. We have a Green Team Club that meets during lunch, and a host of other clubs, including soccer club, math club, SOAR club, Students Organized Against Racism. A number of those happen after school, after tutorial, and some of those happen during lunch, for example. It is a campus that's still buzzing with student activity even after the final bell has rung, so to speak. Sometimes those are academic in nature, other times they're athletic in nature, sometimes they're social in nature. Clubs can be driven, like lots of middle schools across Bellevue, by student interest. So even if a club doesn't exist on campus yet when you start, at any point in time with the support of an advisor, an after-school experience can be driven by you, some friends, to make the most of your time on campus.
All right, let's see what else is in here. How come there is no orchestra? So I will tackle that question. Being a small school that's aligned with our big picture network of schools, there's more than 100 big picture schools across the world. We were the second one here in Washington State 9 years ago, and there's now 8 in the state of Washington. But by being a big picture school, there's certain requirements. And one of those in middle school is to offer an advisory class. There's also certain district requirements of things that we have to offer as well: English, social studies, math, and science, and a certain amount of PE and health. So when we looked at adding in an instrumental music program, whether that was band or orchestra, there wasn't a 7-year pathway, particularly as we move into high school, where students are required to have an internship, which is one of their 7 classes, which actually is a full day every Thursday when school is in session. So when we looked at building the schedule, there wasn't room to fit an orchestra or an instrumental music program into our school and stay aligned with what Big Picture is all about. And since other middle schools don't require advisory, they're not focused on internships, there's room when they build out their elective programs to have that offering. We do have students that engage in music outside of school. Some of them participate in private lessons, the Bellevue Youth Symphony. Some years we've had an after-school choir, depending on student interest. Students have engaged in that. We've had a ukulele club at some point in time. And we do offer in high school a semester elective on composing music with technology and guitar that we're starting for the first time, but it's just a semester-based course and not year-long, again, because we are not able to have a 7-year pathway for instrumental music based on the other requirements of being a big picture school. Let's see, what else is in here? If multiple students want to change the mascot, will they be able to sign a petition to change it? So unfortunately not. We are registered as the Bellevue Big Picture School and the Panthers. A lot of work went into determining the mascot and the school colors. It's actually a 3-year process for the first 3 classes of students who started at Big Picture School. We did a lot of community engagement, a lot of work with our students for them to determine what the mascot and our colors were going to be for our school. So currently we are the Bellevue Big Picture School Panthers. Princeton the Panther is our mascot, and our school colors are purple, black, and silver. And let's take a couple more in here, Matt, before we close out for the day. There have been several questions, and I've published some of them, about what re-entry to the fall will look like. And a lot of that is still unknown. We hear that by tomorrow, OSPI will be putting out some guidelines to the schools of their expectations for fall re-entry. We do know that our district has convened 4 committees looking at different scenarios, whether it's a full return, whether it's part return, part virtual hybrid model. We're back and then out again if there's a spike in the virus come the winter. All of those are posted on the district website under the fall planning link, which has been sent out to families in our district and is available for everyone to see. There will be forums and surveys sent out to families and students in the coming weeks to seek feedback and input on what fall will look like. So if we are back physically on campus, we will follow whatever those guidelines are. If there are, I anticipate in terms of wearing masks and maintaining the physical distance guidelines will be part of that. Again, we'll work to follow whatever that is that'll come forth from the district in alignment with the state and OSPI guidelines. What is block day? Matt, you want to talk about block day?
Yeah. The schedule changes from day to day. So for example, on Monday, you'll have all 7 of your classes, including tutorial. Those classes are around 50 minutes for middle school students. On Wednesday and Thursday, we'll transition into our block schedule piece, which will have less number of classes for a greater length of time. So for example, I'm going to look to my left here where the current schedule is still posted. On a non-block day, first period lasts from 8:30 to 9:25. On a block day, that will last, your first period class will start at 8:30, and on Thursdays it'll go till 10 o'clock. And that allows our teachers to support our projects and to allow the curriculum to span a greater length of time so that we don't feel like we're rushing through. So you'll have some variety in the transition between classes, between Monday and Friday. Great question.
Okay. Is there a Spanish placement test for native Spanish speakers? So when students enter into 7th grade, that's when Spanish at our school for an elective class begins. And students who either have come from a Puesta as a Spanish immersion program or one of the dual language, dual immersion elementary schools, as well as any of our native speakers, are assessed by Andrea or Yen, our 2 Spanish speakers, to determine what the best placement for Spanish is. So yes, that will happen in 7th grade for any of our students, again, who've come from one of those programs or as a native Spanish speaker, so we can get the correct placement for them. Matt did, what is a block day? Do we go and see the school, and when does school start? So in August, if there's an in-person student orientation, the students are invited to campus. Usually we do some team building activities. You get to meet your advisors, you get a copy of your school schedule, and you get to walk to all the classrooms, so you're really comfortable before the first day. The first day is Thursday, that first week of September. I believe it's September 4th. It's whatever that Thursday is before Labor Day. We'll ask all students to come to campus about a half hour early that day. So by 8 o'clock, your first period starts at 8:30. So you'll definitely want to pick up another copy of your schedule that first day if we're on campus. If we're not, we'll be putting out all of those directions as to what that'll look like for the first day. But we hope to have the ability for students to come to campus, and maybe orientation will look different than it's looked in the past once we know more about where we are with things come August. But there will be an opportunity to come and see the school prior to coming back to physical school. In 8th grade, do we get to learn about physics? Yes. And you'll do some physics in 6th and 7th grade as well. The district's approach to science in middle school is now an integrated approach. So you get some biology, physics, chem, and earth and space science each of the 3 years of middle school. And then as you transition into high school, you'll have biology in 9th grade, chemistry in 10th grade, our physics of the universe course. It's actually sponsored through the University of Washington, so you get UW credit and high school credit at the same time. And then our senior year course is AP Environmental Science. So there'll be several opportunities to learn physics here at our school. Is there a Lego club? There's currently not a Lego club, though we have had a Lego robotics club in the past. So a lot of the clubs really depend on the interest of the students and the number of students who want to join and start a club. So I would encourage you to find friends in the fall, and if they're interested in starting a Lego club, let's start a Lego club. How much time, Matt, do students get between classes?
5 minutes. So
5
minutes between classes, which gives plenty of time to move, as Michelle pointed out, outside between your locations here on campus. Plenty of time to take a break, get some fresh air, get ready for the next set of learning objectives.
Awesome. And Matt, how much crossover is there with the high school students on campus during that time?
Yeah, great question. The schedules, the middle school and high school schedules are not aligned. So the transition periods between those two groups do not happen concurrently. So any crossover between middle school and high school is entirely intentional. Today, for example, our 8th graders met their new advisories with their high school advisors and their new high school students. we'll have a variety of opportunities for middle school students, certainly once you get closer to 8th grade, to interact in a structured way with the high school. But the middle school navigates campus under a middle school schedule, primarily with middle school students, and our high school on the other side of campus navigates the high school schedule alongside their high school students.
Awesome. And Matt, do students have laptops in their classes?
They do, and have for almost the better part of a decade here. So our teachers are real intentional about positioning laptops to help students stay creative, innovative, and motivated to demonstrate some real cool content understanding. So yep, you will have laptops, and they'll be used really intentionally across all subjects.
Do we have sports teams?
We do. Club Jubilee, and Coach Jaka has been our coach the last couple years, and it looks like next year. And so you're more than welcome to participate as a middle school student in those sports teams. Some, I believe, flag football, for example, has 6th grade, competes against 6th graders throughout the Bellevue School District Middle School, and then there's 7th and 8th. So there will be some grade level differentiation amongst some of our sports programs, but you're very much encouraged to be part of a really cool sports team community.
Okay, a couple more, Matt. How about the grading system? Is our grading system the same as other middle schools?
It is a little bit different. We believe in and structure grading under guidance called standards-based grading, which means essentially our teachers are very transparent around what the specific standard is that the learning is attached to and guided by. Like most classrooms, there will be an assessment of some kind for a student to demonstrate their understanding as it pertains to that specific content area. And then what is allowed is a reflection between the student and the teacher around how well the student met that standard. And what we also believe in is that students have the opportunity to show mastery of that specific standard throughout the quarter or semester. And so it really allows us to evaluate what the implicit and explicit skill is. This is explicitly what we want students to know, and then we really position PBL to allow multiple methods for students to be able to demonstrate that understanding. I think that captures it. Anything else about standards-based grading that's important to include?
All that I think that's in there. There's lots of questions about electives. So again, in 6th grade, all students have a set schedule of an art exploratory class and PE and health. And then in 7th grade, they can choose between 3 year-long electives, either Spanish, drama, or studio art, and then 3 semester electives of coding, video production, or ceramics. And again, being a small school with only 75 students per grade level, we have fewer elective opportunities than the larger comprehensive middle schools. And also because we require advisory, which the other schools don't, that takes the spot that you would have an elective at another school. Those are key features to what we offer here at Big Picture in terms of building community, student leadership, our project-based approach, and our emphasis on the college and career exploration from 6th grade on. So students will be choosing electives when they enter into 7th grade. There's no choice coming into 6th grade. We're really intentional about that so that we can really help onboard students that transition from 5th grade to 6th grade. I see in here students asked about learning French. Spanish is the only language that we offer. We do have students who pursue languages outside of school and take a competency-based assessment to have credit put on their transcript come high school. So you do have the opportunity to learn other languages on your own, or to participate in Running Start at Bellevue College when you're in 11th grade if you want to learn another language. But the language that we offer at our school is only Spanish. Is there before and after school care? We open school at 7:45 when we're physically here. First period starts at 8:30. So that 45 minutes before school, students are allowed to be on campus and in the cafeteria where it is supervised. So we do have a handful of students who get dropped off or come early because of their bus routes and want that. After school, tutorial runs for half an hour from 3:30 to 4 o'clock on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then students can participate in club jubilee sports or other activities from 4 to 4:45. But it's not the typical before and after school care that the elementary schools do. The middle schools don't provide that. We provide after school programs for students to participate in if they enroll in those clubs or Club Jubilee. On Wednesday, we're done at 2 o'clock. That's when the Club Jubilee games will be, but there's no clubs or other staff supervised activities since the staff are required to be in professional development on Wednesday afternoon. A question here about the schedule for renovation. Man, that's the question of the hour, I tell you. Thank you to everyone who voted for the bond. We're super excited to have that approved and know that we'll be one of the first schools to enter into that renovation process. I know the district director of facilities has been working on a timeline for that. And hopefully when we get back in the fall or late this summer, we'll convene our building team with the district team to explore what that timeline will be. But there isn't anything yet that's definitive. I think we're a couple years out from being in that process. That process involves students and families and staff members working together to design the school. What is it that we want our school home to be like? So there'll be a significant amount of community engagement and then bidding for the architect and in preparation for all of that. So that takes a bit of time. So I think we're probably at least 2 years in that process before we would enter into relocation and then coming back to a nice, beautiful new building. So stay tuned for more information on the renovation. And let's do one more question. I have a question about an ESL. Is there an ESL advisor or ESL classes which can help me learn English? We do have someone from the English language learning department from the district. Her name is Sue Kelly. She's been with us for a couple of years. She works in consultation with our teachers. So we don't have a standalone ESL class. We work with our consultant to help our teachers adapt curriculum, to differentiate it, to be able to meet the needs of our developing English learners and to harness all the gifts that they bring by being fluent in at least one other language, if not more. The larger comprehensive schools, some of them will have standalone ESL classes to support our ESL students, but as a small school and a choice school, we don't have that. But we will work with you and your family and Sue, if it is indeed her again in the fall, so that your child has support and will continue to grow in learning English while here. So the rest of the questions, there's a lot. We could stay on all afternoon, but we will publish those and Matt will email those back out in an extended FAQ document. So we will get all of your questions answered. I thank each and every one of you for joining us today. I can't wait to see you in person and to welcome you to our Big Picture family. It's just so excited to have our 10th class enrolling with us in the fall again, and I look forward to working with and partnering with and learning with and from each and every one of your families. So we are going to turn this over, I believe, Matt, to a message from Jamie, who is our fabulous middle school counselor. She's been here with me from the very beginning and truly loves Big Picture. So here's a message from Jamie welcoming you all to our school.
Hello. I'm Jamie Ginter, the school counselor for Bellevue Big Picture School, and I just want to welcome you wholeheartedly to our community. And I'm so excited to get to know you and talk to you, and I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that we can do that on campus somehow. Otherwise, I'll be here virtually in Teams. And I just can't wait to get to know you and welcome you to Big Picture. Middle school is an awesome, awesome time. Certainly might be some highs and lows, like every day as a human, but it's a really fun time to connect with friends, to figure out what's important, figure out how to balance school and friendships. And I'm going to make mistakes as your counselor, and I'm going to ask you to help me out when I make them and let me know. And then if you make mistakes as middle schoolers, I'll help you out. Part of being human is that we make mistakes. And if we can help each other out when we do make mistakes, we can find good solutions. And usually it means we connect even better as a community once we go through those things. So I'm just super excited to have you come to Big Picture and be a part of our school. I've worked in a lot of different schools in Bellevue, and I can honestly say Big Picture is my favorite. I love our school. It's just super fun. So have a super fun summer, and I'll see you in the fall. Bye.
Thank you, Jamie, and thank you to our advisors. Thank you, Bethany, to our ITCL, Tony, and to all the students here today and families. Thank you so much for taking the hour with us. Again, we'll have, to the best of our ability, considering the circumstances, an August orientation to get ourselves real grounded with what's next and what schedules looks like and how you move between classes. We know it's an incredibly exciting transition from 5th to 6th grade. We're here to support you every step of the way. We'll do our best to communicate with you throughout the summer as information changes from the district and the state about how we can learn together. More than anything, we cannot wait to meet you. We cannot wait to share time with you, to learn alongside you. So from all of us at Big Picture, thank you so much for being here with us this last hour. Have a great afternoon. Take great care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.